Have you been hiding or downplaying your gifts due to fear of what other people think? Or maybe you have been showing up and putting yourself out there, but you still feel like you're holding back or you don't feel like 100% your authentic self. If that is you, this is for you because we're going to go into overcoming the fear of being seen. And I'm actually making this video for myself as well because I have had so many things come up from the start of my journey to even now around being seen and being fully authentic in my expression. Now, I first want to let you know that I grew up completely shy. I was mute in middle school. I feared rejection. I felt like it was safer to just keep to myself and be in my shell. And later on in life, this played out in my business and with my work that I wanted to do in the world because I had this deep burning calling to share my message, to put myself out there, to make an impact in the world, to do what I love and be abundantly supported by it. But all of these fears around what will people think? What if they judge me? What if I fail? What if I look stupid? Came up along the way and held me back in many, many ways. This is what led me into personal development and self help and healing from the past wounds that I've carried around rejection and abandonment. So, I'm going to share some ways that I have overcome fear of being seen in the beginning, things that I did for myself to regulate myself and to clarify my message and open my voice and open my channel. And I'm also going to share some things that have come up more recently. In fact, this is literally the second time I'm recording this video because I found myself being a perfectionist and starting and stopping and getting frustrated and wanting to share this in the most clear and powerful way and feeling like it wasn't coming through, and I found myself going into perfection mode. And I feel like it's pretty funny considering this is a video around overcoming fear of being seen, which is why I'm saying that this is for you and it's also for me, in that I don't have to be fucking perfect to share my message and to share things that have helped me around fear of being seen and putting myself out there. One of my highest values is authenticity. There's nothing more freeing than being your authentic self in your expression. And authenticity is the new currency. People are going to gravitate to you because of your energy, your realness, and your authenticity. They don't want polished, they don't want perfect, they don't want someone who they just feel like they can't relate to. So know that your authenticity is freaking gold. But why are so many of us scared to be our authentic selves? Why are so many of us afraid to really be seen? So many things come up, and a lot of it leads back to some core wounds around fear of rejection or fear of abandonment, which is completely understandable because we are humans and we have an innate desire to belong and to be accepted. But who are you wanting to belong with? People who are going to judge you on the internet that you have no idea who they are, or people who are here to celebrate you, support you, lift you up? That is what I want you to keep in mind. You are here serving and supporting with your message for people who resonate with your energy, for people who are waiting for someone like you to show up and share your message. You're not here to entertain and to appease any trolls on the internet, okay? So keep that in mind as you show up. The trolls don't matter. The people who vibe with you do, and there's so many of them out there. And before I get into the meat of what I'm going to talk about, I want to let you know that I'm doing an amazing free live workshop called Show Up and Blow Up. And it's all around overcoming the fear of being seen, clearly communicating the power of your work and your message, blending intentional strategy with your unique, authentic expression, and so much more. And I would love to see you there. It's freaking blow up season, baby. So you got to show up to blow up. And you got to do it in a way that feels really fun and exciting for you. So I'm going to leave a link for that in the description. I would love to see you there. I'm going to share so many things that have supported me on my journey, growing an amazing community, putting myself out there, and creating a beautiful, thriving business, doing what I love. Okay, so I know if you are watching this video, you are someone who has a deep, burning soul calling to share your message, to put yourself out there, to do something meaningful on a soul level. This calling is larger than you. It's greater than your human self, and you can't not put yourself out there. I know what it feels like to have that calling and to still feel all of this resistance and fear around showing up and being seen. In fact, that was like a big war within me when I first started putting myself out there. I've been showing up for the last decade and I've gotten so much better at it along the way, but I will never forget the feeling of having that burning calling and still feeling like, oh, I'm not the type of person that could show up like that, or oh, I don't know if I have it in me, or what if people judge me? And I reached a point where my desire, my calling became way stronger than my fear. And that's my first point in this overcoming fear of being seen. Your desire, your calling must be greater than your fear. And I know it already is, but you maybe haven't fully leaned into that discomfort. That's going to support you so much as you continue to put yourself out there and overcome any fears of being seen. Your desires are stronger than your fears. And the more you show up and put yourself out there, the more comfortable you'll be, the more confident you will become, and the more clear your message will be able to be delivered through your vessel. Practice makes progress. So know that everybody has a day one. We all have moments where we're not the best at something. And the same goes for showing up and being seen. If it's something that you're new to, it might feel a little weird. You might feel a little uncomfortable. You might feel extra insecurities come up, but know that everybody deals with that. So you're not alone. You're not crazy. There's nothing wrong with you. It's just something that you need to get on the other side of by practicing, by doing it, by just pressing play, pressing record, speaking and sharing whatever wants to come through you. You should have seen me in the beginning. Oh my freaking God. I was so nervous. I had this burning calling, like I said, but once I hit the play button or hit record, I was like, hi guys. And that's okay. That was my day one. That was the beginning. That was like in 2012. And I knew though that, damn, the only way I'm going to get through this, the only way I'm going to open my throat chakra and expression is if I freaking do it. So even if you just do it for yourself and you don't publish it anywhere, hit record, start sharing your voice, start speaking and expressing, and not have it need to go anywhere at first. If that's where you are on your journey, do it for yourself. Do it to open your channel and practice. Think of it like this. Your higher self is the one that's calling you forward to share your message and to show up. Your higher self is the one that's like, let's do this. We have a message to share. We have people to support. Come on, let's go. But your human self, your ego is like, I don't know if I could do it. I'm scared. What if people, So it's like that's the tug of war that's going on. Think of the little devil and a little angel on your shoulder. Your higher self is the one guiding you to be more of who you came here to be, but your ego is trying to keep you safe and in your little comfort bubble. But that's a prison that we build around ourselves that we need to break out of, okay? It's freaking time because nothing is more freeing than being who you came here to be. Nothing is more magnetic than your presence, your uninhibited expression. So the first thing that helped me really push through that was to do things anyway, do things that scared me. I intentionally got out of my comfort zone. And this was really uncomfortable in the very beginning when I started doing videos, when I started teaching fitness classes, when I first did a fitness competition, when I first did public speaking. Like I did things intentionally to get out of my comfort zone. And I knew I was going to feel really uncomfortable. There were moments I cried after teaching, like one of my first fitness classes. I cried after because I thought I sucked. But I knew that I would get over it. I would grow from it. I would get better. And the only way to do that is to take action because action builds confidence and crushes fear. Action builds confidence and crushes fear. Action builds confidence and crushes fear. Remember that, remember that, remember that. I promise you, there's going to be a day where you look back and you're like, damn, I've come so far. When I look at some of my oldest videos, I'm like, wow, I've come so far. I'm so proud of myself for continuing to show up and allowing myself to be seen. Now, if you're someone who's already been showing up and you're like, all right, I'm showing up, I'm putting myself out there, but I still feel anxiety. I still feel like, I'm not fully potent and in my power. I've been there too. And like I shared in the beginning of this, I had some perfectionism stuff coming up, like trying to be perfect and no, 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 no. So things are going to come up around being seen at different stages and in different ways on your journey. And that is totally okay. What if it's okay? What if it's just okay? And you learn how to dance with the fear and move through the fear instead of let it take over you or be in charge. Your higher self is in charge. The fear is just teaching you and showing you areas in which you're not honoring your true expression and areas in which maybe there's some real golden nuggets of growth right there for you. So get curious. What is it bringing up in you? What are the feelings and sensations in your body when it comes to being seen? What are the stories and narratives that are playing out? Is it, oh, people aren't going to like me? Or, what if I mess up? Or what if people are mean to me on the internet? What if? What are these things? Get curious. Give them space to be seen. Really, literally. That's how you're going to overcome the fear of being seen, to see what insecurities and what things are popping up for you, and to actually have compassion for that stuff and know that you're human and things come up for us. A lot of us deal with fear of rejection and fear of abandonment and wanting to belong, and that is okay. But here's what happens when we shift and mold ourselves to please other people and end up watering down our message and watering down our expression to be accepted by other people. Guess what happens? We end up being the ones that are rejecting ourselves. And then we feel inauthentic. Then we feel like we're hiding. And we feel like an imposter. And all of those other things come up. So, the best thing you can do for yourself is to lean into the fear, to do the thing anyway, to remember that action builds confidence and crushes fear, to have compassion for your little inner child who's freaking out behind the scenes, maybe, and let her know that she's safe and that you got her back, and do it anyway. And with that practice and with that consistency, there's no way you won't get better. There's no way you won't get more comfortable being seen, showing up, and being your true, authentic self. You are not just wanting to overcome the fear of being seen so that you could make a greater impact and do what you came here to do in the world. That's one thing that's really driving you. But the real prize is, the real juice of this is, you are wanting to overcome the fear of being seen so that you can be free within yourself, so that you can be free within yourself, uninhibited in your expression, not have any shame around who you are, so that in turn, you naturally make more money, serve more clients, are more fulfilled, attract more amazing people into your life. That's a natural byproduct of you being in your fullest expression. You feel me? Like, this is deep here. Your desire to overcome the fear of being seen is your innate desire of, I just want to be who I came here to be. And I want to let go of anything that I'm not. All of the programming, all of the conditioning, all of the things that have happened in the past, none of that is you. And that's why we must approach this all with compassion and grace and source our safety and security from within. Which brings me to the next point, and that is creating safety in your body. If you don't feel safe to be seen, if your nervous system doesn't feel safe to be seen because it believes it's in real danger, literally, from fear of rejection and all that stuff. Your body is literally like, oh, no, can't. And so procrastination happens, self sabotage, whatever, perfectionism, like I shared, like so many things can come up. So we've got to learn how to create safety in our body. And I'm going to be going into more of this in the Show Up and Blow Up free masterclass. But some easy practices of creating safety in your body is, putting your hand on your heart, doing some breathing, doing some tapping, doing some affirmative statements. I trust myself. I'm safe. I know what I'm here to say. I know what I'm here to do. Imagining your energy just sinking and grounding you, and just reminding yourself that you are supported, that you are safe, that you are here in this present moment. You're not in real danger. It's just the stories of your mind. And so, but your body needs to believe that. So learning how to regulate your nervous system is going to be a real game changer for you when it comes to showing up and being seen, because you're only going to be able to make the impact and the income that you desire only to the level of which you feel safe in your body and your nervous system. Otherwise, you're going to push things away energetically and unconsciously because it doesn't feel safe. So we need to get our body on board. We can do this in a multitude of ways. One of my big go-to practices is movement, mirror work, and vocalization, as well as different things like tapping and stuff like that. that really support with regulating your nervous system and feeling safe to be who you came here to be. And the more safe and secure you feel within yourself, the more clear your message is going to naturally become. The more confident you're going to become, the clearer your voice will be, the more stronger your voice will be. Even my voice changed since I've been showing up. In the very beginning, it was very soft and "Na, na, 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 hey guys." And now it's like, this is my voice. This is how I talk. So you're going to notice shifts in yourself the more you show up and the more you lean into your expression edges all along your journey. And this may happen in layers too. There are so many different things that came up for me around being seen, around being myself at different stages of my journey. And I just view this whole thing as a beautiful opportunity of growth and expansion. And so even now, when things come up for me, I'm like, oh, there's some fear coming up, or oh, there's some perfectionism coming up right there. Okay, I'm going to do my little energetic practice. I'm going to show up anyway. And I'm going to just remind myself that I fucking got this. Like, it's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. We make it a big deal. It's not a big deal. What if it's just not a big deal to show up, to be seen, to speak to the people that you're speaking to? What if we just make it a big deal that it doesn't need to be? In fact, I think a lot of people make it a much bigger deal than it needs to be. It doesn't need to be a big deal. You are being you, you are expressing yourself, you are expressing your gifts. You have a powerful message within you that wants to come out. There are millions of people out there who will resonate with you, and there are some haters and trolls out there who won't probably like you, and that's totally okay. But how do you feel about yourself? How do you feel in your body? How do you feel about what you're here to share and what you're here to do? When you are anchored in that, when you are grounded in that, it doesn't matter who's liking your stuff, doesn't matter who's not liking your stuff. You're doing it for you and your excitement to share, your excitement to express. Or maybe you're like, Steph, I'm not sure what I want to share exactly. Or maybe you're someone who's been showing up and you're like, I want to share more, but I'm holding back. These things come up, and this is where we want to blend the energy stuff and the creating safety in your body with being intentional and having an intentional plan with how you're showing up. This has helped me at many stages of my journey. And I would ask myself, okay, what is the purpose of this video that I'm creating today? What do I want this to bring out in people? What do I want this to support them with? Or what is something that I'm called to share today? Having an intention and flow, a plan for how you're showing up and what you're sharing is going to create some structure for your feminine flow to channel through. So this also helped me when I first went on live video. I was super nervous to go on live. I was shaking. I was like, oh, and I took a deep breath and I asked myself, okay, what do I need to feel supported in this? Because I'm going to do it because I have the calling and I know this resistance is here to support me in leaning into my edges. So what do I need to support me in this? And one of those things was create a plan, create no have bullet points. And so I knew my topic. I did a few bullet points and I was like, okay, this is what I'm going to share today. And I also, something else that I wanted support with was I wanted a couple of my friends to be on my first live video to make me feel a little bit more comfortable. And so I did that. So ask yourself at different points of your journey when things come up around being seen, what would be supportive for me right now? Maybe it's, I need a little pep talk from my close friend or my coach. Or maybe it's, I just need to write this out first so I can just have it out in front of me and know exactly what I want to share in a way that allows me to clearly communicate it. Or maybe it's, "Ugh, I just need a break. I need to get up and move my body." Listen to what you need, and that's going to support you in either alchemizing your energy or getting more focused and intentional with how you're showing up and what you're sharing and what's going to come through you. But ultimately, the biggest thing that has supported me is just consistently showing up, being consistent, showing up, and being consistent and showing up. I am one of the most consistent people I know. That's one of my greatest strengths. Super grateful for it. It actually stems from my consistency with fitness and working out. But being consistent with sharing my message has supported me in becoming more clear with my message, more confident in showing up, and more dialed into the specific people that I'm speaking to and what exactly they are going through as well. So that when I communicate my message, I'm talking to you, like literally to you. And I'll have a lot of people that are like, oh my gosh, I feel like you're talking right to me. It's because I am. And this confidence and clarity within that came from my consistency. So be consistent. I know you might hear this sometimes, and I know the word triggers some people, and consistency can look different for each person, but ultimately, Showing up consistently on a regular basis in whatever way you feel called to show up is going to support you in overcoming that fear, building the confidence, getting more clear, and leaning into your expression edges. Consistency now looks different for me than it did back in the day. And I'm still freaking consistent. So that's going to be the biggest game changer with overcoming fear of being seen. And also surround yourself with people who freaking hype you up and support you. If you don't have that, come join us inside of the Vibe Club. That's literally why I created my membership community. Having a community of people who dream as big as you, who are on a similar path, who hype you up, who also go through very similar things as you, is going to support you in not feeling alone and is going to support you in believing in yourself even more and taking the actions and just doing the things and showing up and deciding what you are calling in, claiming, and declaring in your life and in your business. So I'm going to leave this here for now. I'll be making more content around this topic. Would love to hear your questions or what spoke to you within this. And I would love to see you for Show Up and Blow Up, the free masterclass. Link is in the description. I love you so much. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you soon.